Cory Monteith. ABC's Neil Karlinski is in Vancouver with the latest. Good morning, Neil.
George, good morning. Sad to say this is exactly what people feared. 31-year-old Cory Monteith died in his hotel here this weekend from the very drugs he had been battling for so much of his adult life. Investigators now say it was clear the moment Cory Monteith's body was found, unresponsive and alone in his hotel room, that an overdose was likely to blame. The coroner says the 31-year-old actor died of a mixed drug toxicity involving heroin and alcohol.
There's absolutely nothing at this point, no evidence to suggest this is anything other than the most sad and tragic accident.
Police say he returned to his hotel room at 2:15 a.m. Saturday, alone, after a night hitting several Vancouver bars with friends. Similar outings were photographed and obtained by TMZ earlier in the week.
There was 3 people that were with Mr. Monteith the night before he died. We've spoken with all 3 of them, and they were all very cooperative.
Wheels go round and the teen idol with the big heart and golden voice seemed at times to be living a double life. There was the all-American good guy who dated his on-screen love, Lea Michele, and the gritty kid who started using drugs at 13, dropped out of school young, and sought help in rehab as recently as just a few months ago. It was a challenge he was vocal about, eagerly wanting to help others.
If I can, through my experience, shed light on the way out of a difficult situation that I know many kids are experiencing, just like I did when I was a teenager.
A clip has now been released showing Monteith in a soon-to-be-released film where he plays a drug addict, a role he says that drew on his own experiences.
You just cost me $50.
Late Tuesday, Lea Michele's publicist released a new statement. Lea has been grieving alongside his family and making appropriate arrangements with them. They are supporting each other as they endure this profound loss. In the end, fame and good fortune couldn't fight back a lifetime of addiction. The 31-year-old, who appeared to have it all, died alone, far from Hollywood, near the streets of his childhood.
He seemed to really be in a good place. He checked into rehab in April, he completed it, and so he seemed to be like he was back on track.
As far as investigators are concerned, this is essentially case closed. Monteith's family has asked for privacy. Funeral plans have not been announced. Elizabeth?
All right, Neil, thank you so much. And for more now, joining us from San Francisco is addiction specialist Christina Wanzelak. Good morning, and it's great to have you here. There were reports that he had been seen, Cory, in Vancouver the night that he died, drinking a beer, which seems to be innocuous, but you maintain that it isn't for somebody with his history.
Absolutely. Anytime you have an addictive substance that interacts with an addictive biochemistry, you begin to create the addictive cycle in the biochemical reaction to it. And so when you have a person that's recovering from addiction, it is completely unsafe to engage in any sort of addictive substance. He didn't stand a chance. The beer actually was the pebble that created this massive avalanche.
And doctors and experts often advise addicts to avoid going to places and being with people that they used to party with, because it can actually be a trigger, and it looks like it might have been in this case as well.
Absolutely. However, relapse is a process. It didn't just begin when he went into Vancouver. It's a process. It happens over a course of time, and the actual using is the end of that process. So whatever was happening to him prior is that's the part that's most important. It's not about being around old friends. When we are taking care of our addiction, when we are maintaining our recovery, we can go anywhere and be with whomever and be safe in that environment.
When he was so public with his battle, had the support of so many friends and family, people seem to be saying that he was doing so well and that this was a surprise.
Absolutely. We that are recovering from addiction can do really well in our lives. And, relapse doesn't have to be part of recovery, but if we're not maintaining it, it certainly can be.
It's an ongoing process. All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning with some great advice for people
Thank you.
who might be fighting the same battle.